What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Show After RoW, where I basically give y'all a bit of a rundown as to what I did after leaving the RoW arena. Actually, I was at training yesterday, and the reason why I didn't do this yesterday was because I had to leave. I had to A, leave early, and B, I had to be for work in the morning, so I had to go to sleep like immediately. So let me just go ahead and get this. Let me go ahead and get this part going. Listen, I'm thoroughly disappointed in myself about how I did in this one. I won't lie to y'all. Like normally, like I said, younger me could have easily zip zap zop everything, but obviously I'm getting older. I'm getting a little bit more getting back in shape is a challenge for me because of the fact that like for some people getting back in shape, for some people being in shape means looking a certain way. For me, it's about feeling a certain way. I used to be able to knock out a whole bunch of exercises and a whole bunch of working out and a whole bunch of things like that. I used to be able to go through this stuff relatively. Like I wasn't the physically strongest or the most. I wasn't like the fastest or nothing like that, but I could keep up. That was the thing. That was one of the few things I do about myself is that I could keep up. Now I kind of can't. So I'm a little. I don't want. And fun fact: there is a person who is training with me who doesn't like me using the C word. So like whenever he hears me say it, he's like, "Bro, what are you saying? Why are you saying that word?" You know what I'm saying? He's a lot like my younger brother, and it actually is very motivating and very helpful, and it makes me miss my younger brother because my younger brother is also the type of person that's like, we don't use the word can't up in here. You know what I'm saying? He's like that. He's that guy. In any case, though, I ultimately I did go into training, and every trainer has a different method as to how they go about training. Some trainers, what they would do is they'll start you off by doing a couple of exercises, and depending on who it is, you'll either get like a really intense workout before you start training, or a light workout before you start training. The idea is to kind of just sort of get your body sort of like either to tire you out so that everything you do afterwards is basically like just adding on to the workout, or there's something to sort of get you like amped up and ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Something to wake your body up, so to speak. Which on one end, great, but on the other end, like if I had to, I'm not saying that it's a bad move. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that actually wrestling is cardio enough. Actually wrestling, it's cardio and strength training enough. At some point you're gonna have somebody on your shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Like dang near trying to bench press them. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta get ready for that. At some point you have to run the ropes. That's cardio enough. I mean, there's a lot of moves that involve strength training and a lot of moves that involve cardio and a lot of moves that involve, stretching and the like. So it just kind of feels like working out before training to wrestle kind of just sort of not necessarily defeats the purpose, but it's just like it's putting a hat on a hat, so to speak. Rest in peace, Trevor Burbick. For those who, I hope that somebody gets that reference because Mike Tyson Mysteries is a great show. But I'm not going to tell a trainer how to train. They clearly know better than I do about it. But if I had to sort of go about it myself, I remember when I was training under Jonathan Gresham in Georgia, and what he would do is he would start us off by having us do internationals. And he would have us do internationals. It'll be like 5 internationals and then cut off, and then the other person does 5 internationals. And if you don't know what international is, just think of a burpee, except with running. You're gonna get tired. I'm getting tired just thinking about it. And that was when I was younger. I was younger doing that stuff, and I was crushing those then. And so there's that. So there's that. So I am trying to get back in shape. And I also realize now, as much as I genuinely hate saying this word, I do know that there's a bit of a confidence issue with me. Because after we got done doing the rolls, and after we got done doing the rolls, Heartthrob immediately kind of got us going straight into the actual wrestling of it, the actual wrestling part. And it was it was a rudiment. It was not a rudiment. What's a routine? I don't want to say a routine, but it was a work. It was an exercise where you had to kind of you had to run the ropes, and then you had to run the ropes and take a shoulder tackle. It was just all these things you kind of had to do, and I see it, and I know that I can do it, but I'm so intimidated because I'm afraid of messing up. And because in my brain, like I see this thing, and the first thing that's going on in my brain is like, what if I mess up? And the trainer is like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this? You know what I'm saying? Did I show you how to do this? Why didn't you do it this way? Why did you do it that way?" And and I just get laughed out the arena, and stuff like that. And the thing is, that's never happened to me before. I've never been in a position where I was humiliated by the trainer, and everybody in the class is very, very, very supportive. So it's like I don't know where these thoughts are coming from, but it's like my brain immediately goes straight to, if I mess up, that's basically the end of me here. So rather than mess up, I just bowed out. So I bowed out, and then I just watched from the sidelines. And then ultimately, when I got ready to get back in, obviously the trainer saw me and was like, "Did you go? Did you do the routine?" And I was like, "I didn't do the routine." But he's like, "Why didn't you do the routine?" You know what I'm saying? So it was like he didn't humiliate me, obviously, but it was just one of those cases where I just had to let him know, there's some things that I thought that I forgot, and clearly I didn't forget. I just was intimidated by what was happening. I was a little embarrassed. And he was like, "There's no need to be embarrassed, dude. Like, everybody here, like, the thing that one of the trainers had told me was never really like, if somebody does decide to talk smack, they can't talk smack because they're not really that good either. You know what I'm saying? It's a room full of trainees. We're all kind of on the same level as far as not knowing what to do. So if somebody were to talk smack, God forbid, because nobody is, then like there's no reason to get upset about it, because you're basically being like, because they're going to mess up at some point also. You know what I'm saying? And that was a part that really kind of like, that was a part that resonated with me, and it made me think to myself, you know what? I can't keep thinking that way. Every single time I say the word "can't," I'm just imagining like John, the other trainee, just basically telling me, "What you say?" You know what I'm saying? Because it's a very, like, a lot of people, like, one thing about wrestling fans that I'm starting to notice is that, like, they have this image in their head about what wrestling training is, and they think that is boot camp. And they think we're all just screaming at each other and telling each other that we're suck and reusing the phrase, "If you don't like it, then go out. There's the door right there." You know what I'm saying? That's not what it is. We're very, very, very supportive of each other. We're very helpful towards each other. We're very loving and compassionate towards one another because of the fact that we all want the same thing. And we all kind of want the same thing for everybody else. We all want to get to this big stage, and we all want to see everybody else get to the big stage. I won't lie to you, man. There's been, like, in the time that I have been training over there's been a lot of times where people who I really, really, really wanted to see succeed just stopped showing up due to, like, maybe the drive is gone, maybe they don't have the funding anymore, maybe they just had to move to another state. Something always happens, and, like, people who I grew attached to automatically just start leaving. So I know for a fact that I know for a fact that I'm the type of dude who, like, I will gladly support somebody if I like them enough, and because I want to see them win. I want to see them succeed. I want to see my homies win. And and the thing is, I need to start thinking that in this environment, at least, everybody is kind of the same way. But like I said, but like I did bow out, and but I did come back in, and he did like reteach me how to do a certain move that I thought that I forgot how to do, but I knocked it out of the park, and my pants ripped. My pants ripped. It wasn't a noticeable rip, but it was enough that people could see. It's in the area where I don't need people to see it, and thankfully I wore underwear underneath but it's just a sheer fact that, like, people could still see it, and so I had to bow out anyway because ripped pants. So now I learned two lessons. One, stay on the apron, and no matter what, like, I have to realize I'm not going to get embarrassed out there. Or rather, if I do get embarrassed, no problem. You know what I'm saying? But another thing that I have to realize is, should I have another pants failure? One, buy bigger workout pants, and two, buy matching underwear. So that way, if there is a rip, there's no rip. Here's to a better training day in a couple of days or so. So I'm trying to make it a habit to go at least every Monday and Friday. If I can at least also make it on Wednesday as well, because I do want to go on Wednesdays as well. But also want to sleep. I need y'all to understand with training. My schedule goes: wake up, go to work, get home, get everything situated, and then go to training. That's what it is. That would be my schedule. At some point, and I won't even I go back home, I go to sleep. I go back home, I go to sleep, and then I wake up, and then I go back to work because I work mornings. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff that goes into this. It's just I really, part of me just wishes I didn't have to work, because if I didn't have to work, I would be going to training every day. but but yeah, so there's that. But yeah, like I said, but like yesterday, I am a little disappointed in myself. I'm hoping to redeem myself. If not tomorrow, then the upcoming Friday at least, and just kind of work towards that. Because the goal now is to just get back in shape and get myself back in the position that I was in before I stopped training. Because I'm good at this. I am good at this. I need to one, believe that I'm good at this, and two, accept the fact that I'm gonna mess up, and that won't be a detriment to how good I used to be to it. Because even the best make mistakes. Ooh, that's good. Even the best makes mistakes. All right, that's it. I'm gonna head out. Love and peace to everybody out there. I am tired. I'm really tired. Also, check out my lives. My lives where I showcase my friends who are also wrestlers, because I really want y'all to kind of know who they are and know about those companies and things like that. So I understand they're going to be a little bit long, but if you like wrestling, they're worth it. Alrighty, love and peace. Until next time.